Living a minimalist lifestyle is great for many reasons, and one of them being that it helps you to save money. And in this video, I share 14 ways I save money with minimalism. A few weeks ago, I uploaded a video about the money-saving mindset that minimalism teaches us that greatly helps us to save money. And in the comments, I got a lot of requests from you guys for more money-saving tips. So for this video, I sat down and made a list of all the ways I save money with minimalism, and I'm going to share them with you right now. These things all work well for me, and chances are that some or even a lot of them can also work for you, though there may be some in there that are not really your cup of tea. So just take what you can use and leave the rest. And if you have any money saving tips of your own to share with the rest of us, then please do so in the comments. Number one, I always make sure that I use up what I have before I buy something new. And Dutch people have a reputation for being frugal, and I'd say that's probably often pretty true. So I make sure I squeeze out everything I can before I buy something new. And this also goes for other things like clothing and furniture. I take really good care of my stuff, and that's why it always lasts me a really long time. For example, I don't dry clean my clothes, so that saves me on electricity costs, but it also makes sure that my clothes last longer, and I will not replace them with new clothes if they are still good and I can still wear them. Same goes for furniture. We've had this furniture for a really long time now. Would I say it's still 100% my style? No, not really. If I had to buy new furniture now, it would probably look a little bit different, but I'm not going to replace the furniture that I have now because it's still good, it still works, and I'm still grateful for it. Because of minimalism, I am not really influenced by trends and fast consumerism, so I just like to keep everything as it is until it no longer works, and this habit really helps me to save money. Number two, this guy. My phone is kind of old. It is the Samsung S6, and I've always been a Samsung girl, and they're going to be releasing the S10 soon, so it's really old. But it still works fine, it does the job, and most of all, it's super cheap. And I also have a very limited data plan because I don't need a lot of data. I don't stream movies outside of the house, I don't use social media. So all in all, my phone is only a couple of euros each month. Next is having an intentional wardrobe. Now, before I went minimalist, I used to spend a lot of money on clothing and accessories. It was my biggest indulgence. It wasn't that I was buying especially pricey things, but I just bought a lot and it added up. There was a time when I spent around $200 each month on clothing, and right now this just seems crazy to me, but that was what I did. So being intentional with your wardrobe really helps. A few things that I do. I only have about 30 hangers in my closet, and when they are full, that means that I have to get rid of something first if I want to buy something new, and this really helps me to think before buying something. Another thing that I do is I go out for specific items, so I'm not randomly going out shopping for clothes anymore, which I used to do a lot. But let's say I notice that I need a new pair of jeans, I just go out and find a new pair of jeans. And once I find a pair I like, I just go home. So changing this habit from buying random clothes that I find hanging around to searching for something specific and then leaving the rest has really helped me to save a lot of money. Next on the money saving tips list is bringing your own bottle of water when you go out. And you may have heard this one before, but it just makes good sense. Whenever I go out, I just bring my own water instead of buying bottled water or bottled drinks. Better for your wallet, better for the environment. Number 5 is a great tip if you want to save money, and that is to use sales wisely and use them to your advantage. Now, you may have heard minimalists say that you should avoid sales, but I don't think that's necessarily a smart thing to do. So what it comes down to is using the sales to your advantage. Now, let's say that there's a purse and it's 50% off and it is now $30. If you didn't need a purse to begin with, then it's not a good deal because you're still spending $30 on a purse that you didn't feel the need to buy in the first place. But for me, I only have one purse, and after a few years of daily use, it gets old, it gets worn out. And let's say that this was happening and I was scouting for a new purse, then buying it on sale would actually make sense. Now, an important note here, this also doesn't work if you start to buy things that are more expensive because they're on sale. So for example, I would never buy a purse that's $200, even if it used to be $400. I would, however, buy a purse that's $60, so if I can get that purse for $30, then I'm actually saving money. So if you want something or need something and it can wait a few months, then wait until you can find it on sale somewhere. I do this with a lot of my purchases. I'm thinking maybe half or more than half. So this way I do end up saving a lot of money. Alright, number 6 is that I don't own a car. And this is a choice I made because it's possible for me, and I totally realize that this is not a realistic option for some people. It totally depends on your situation, but even then there may be things that you could do to save money. For me, where I live, there is excellent public transportation and I can use that to get to most places. I also own a bike and I also just walk a lot. Now, I do spend money on public transportation, of course, but still that's way cheaper than buying a car, keeping up with maintenance, and spending money on gas and parking and insurance. I don't have any of that. The only thing is I don't really like to use public transportation at night. It's still relatively safe here, but sometimes things do happen and going at night would kind of be scary for me. So if I have to be somewhere at night and I can't get a ride or just simply ride my bike there, I might spend money on a cab. But again, this happens very little and the costs don't go nearly as high as owning a car. Now, if you need your car for work or you need it to get around and you don't have access to public transportation like we have here, which I know is the case in a lot of places, then getting rid of your car is not an option. But there may be things that you could change if you are willing to save money anyway. Maybe you could see if you could carpool to work, or maybe you could park your car a bit further away where there's free parking, or maybe you could just use your car a bit less and don't use it for the short distances. If you want to, there may be things that you could change to save money, and if this tip is not for you, then that's okay too. Tip number 7 is meal planning. I used to go to the grocery store and just buy the same things every week and figure out what to do with them later on. And now my boyfriend and I take some time to plan out the next 4 or 5 days and then make our shopping list accordingly. And when we do this, we also take into consideration the discounts that are available for that week. So let's say there's a discount on cauliflower, then we make sure to include things on our list that have cauliflower. This way I can be strategic with my meal planning and eat things when they are cheaper, and we also don't have to throw away any food that has gone bad because we didn't get around to eating it. If I could only share one tip with you in this video, then I would make it this one, because I think this one has made the biggest difference for me when it comes to saving money, and that is cutting out impulse buys. Actually, thinking about things before you buy them makes the biggest difference. So if you're in the store and you see something you like, just take a picture and go home and think about it for a few days. I used to buy maybe 2, 3, 4 things on impulse every time I went shopping, and they were never really big things, but they did add up. And I noticed that I'm a sucker for these beautiful displays in the store, and it makes me want to buy something. And now whenever I get into a situation like that, I just snap a picture, I go home, and I notice a couple days later I don't really want it, more often than not. Next tip is vacationing in your own country or somewhere relatively close by. Now, the Netherlands, they are a small country, so I only have to travel by train about 3 hours max, and I'm totally across the country, and the scenery is different there, the people are different, and it's just a lot of fun. So we only travel abroad every few years. For example, we've been to Iceland and Japan a couple times, and we loved it, and we'll probably go visit there again within every few years. But our usual vacations, we just spend them somewhere close by or relatively close by, or even just staying at home and doing fun day trips. Of course, this totally depends on your preferences and your priorities. Maybe you love traveling the world and you figured out a way to do it on a budget, and that works too. Next tip is to exercise at home. Now, unless you do things like swimming or tennis, for example, they're kind of hard to do at home. But for me, things like yoga or interval training or even going for a hike or for a run, I can do all these things without paying for a gym membership. And I also don't need any expensive equipment or expensive sporting gear. There are many videos on YouTube with workouts using just your own body weight, and trust me, they are challenging enough. So this is a great way to save money and still get in a good workout. Number 11, canceling subscriptions and memberships that you are not using or not using enough. I have canceled most of them. I only have Netflix and Spotify now, and these are choices that I made because I really enjoy using these services a lot. So if you're spending money on something every month, then take a moment to think, am I really getting my money's worth? Am I really using this often enough? And these monthly automatic payments can be kind of tricky because they are easily overlooked, but it really adds up when you cancel them. Next tip for saving money is to save first and spend later. So if you know roughly how much money you need to get through the month, then you also know how much money you will have left to save. And instead of waiting until the end of the month to save whatever is left, it really helps to save that money first and just make do with whatever you have left for the rest of the month. For me, this way I save a lot more money than if I'm just saving whatever I have left at the end of the month. And as you get more used to minimalism, as it becomes more and more your natural lifestyle, you will buy less and less things. And this way you can even bump up your savings incrementally. Number 13, you know how people often say that they have trouble finding a present or a gift for a minimalist for your birthday or for the holidays? Well, I usually ask for gift cards, and since I never can think of a physical item to ask, gift cards work great for me. So I usually ask for gift cards from stores that I know I go to at least a couple times a year for things that I need, and then whenever I do, I can just use my gift card, and this way I save money that I was going to spend anyway. Now, of course, you could just also ask for cash. It's basically the same principle, but I don't know, it's just I don't really like to give cash or get cash from someone. I think gift cards are just way more fun. And lastly, because of our minimalist lifestyle, we can make do without a big apartment or a big home or any pricey storage units because we don't own a lot of stuff, so our stuff doesn't take up much space. We live in a one-bedroom apartment now. Granted, the living room is quite large, but it's just enough room for us. We don't need a bigger home or extra storage. Living expenses are for most people their biggest expenses, so if you can find a way to live in a smaller place or in a more affordable neighborhood or city, then you can actually save a lot of money. And of course, this is depending on your lifestyle, your family size, but if you have so much stuff that you have to buy a big place for it, or if you have to buy extra storage, then downsizing might be a really good idea to end up saving some serious money. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do, and of course don't forget to subscribe. I post videos like this every week. I will see you all soon. Have a great day. Bye bye.